Welsh Soldier coming in from, well, YouTube. And today, we have Magic the Gathering. And sorry about the delay. Okay. Yeah, Magic the Gathering, in which I am going to show off what used to be an infect deck. And the reason why I say used to be is because apparently there was a banning that's going to be enacted actually I think this week most likely, but I may stand corrected. Anyway, let's get into some of the things that are in this deck. And if you wonder why there's a poison counter token, that's because this is infect, which means, and there's the reason why the 10's there is because you need at least 10 counters on this infect. And you need 10 poison counters, and then you basically just win. It's simple. It's really, really simple, or at least to me it is. So, get that die out of the way and the token. I'm gonna start flipping things over. Oh, whoops. Okay, that could have been worse. Okay, and these are just the lands I'm using, and this used to be just the basic build. That if I would suggest something, just to even start out, I would suggest at least getting 2 fetches and 2 shocks. And the 2 shocks, I would say, should be both breeding pools. Whereas the fetches, sorry. They could be anything in green or even blue. They could be anything green or blue fetch lands. I mean, just basically any green or blue fetch lands would do. But anyway, this is just my build, or at least my basic budget version, basically. Which, the one card that the Dryad Milton, that's actually in the sideboard. But I just brought this pile out because I was like, well, might as well actually get this out of the drawer for once. And yes, that is Gataxian Probe there. The one card I really admire, but I don't understand why exactly. Like, what is the point of, because this card basically got banned. And if you want to know how early or how late to the party on infect I am, I got this deck sorted out on Christmas Day this last year, which can say a lot. And by last year I mean December 25th of 2016. So hopefully that card gets unbanned, or at least that's my hope. I don't know if it's anyone else's hopes, not mopes. I don't know why that's funny, but anyway. Well, I got these 3 copies of it in here, which I have originally 4 copies, but the 4th one is actually in the Commander deck. Because that's apparently the only place I can really use it, is in Commander. Even though it's less effective when it's in Commander, which Commander is a different format. This is Modern, in fact, by the way. Just as a heads up. This is not an old deck. This is a very, very new deck that I just built. And if you want to guess at how much this costed, when my parents got this, or actually technically when I got this delivered, or when I managed to point these out, they were like $4 a piece. Which, if you can think about it, that actually made me very mad. Cause, and I don't want to get on a rant about the bannings, by the way, because that's not the point of this video. But it's just, it made me so mad. I almost wanted to get rid of these immediately. But I realized I have to keep them because my parents bought them for me. And plus it would be very rude, or at least, well, not rude, but it would be very, like, not nice if I got rid of them almost immediately. And plus the bannings only came out this year, in January 2017. And some people think that this is a rant. You can say that, but it's not really rant, because I'm not necessarily ranting. It's just I'm a little mad that this got banned, and I understand it's in turn 3 kill decks, and this basically allows me to play around your threats. But would you rather me to take the threat away? And sorry about that. Would you rather me to take the threat away? Or would you rather me leave it alone? What would you rather me do? And say, would you just let me look at your hand? Even though no matter what, I'm getting the information one way or another. Mana leaks? Oh wait, and sorry about that, but... Well, anyway, mana leaks. Those are also in sideboard. Vapor snags. Well, I'm like, thank God these things are not banned. And I'm actually especially glad that Glistener Elf isn't banned also. And if there's any of Dredge players watching this video, I'm seriously sorry about these bannings. I really feel your pain, because I'm an infect player, and I just got into this deck. And if you're a Dredge player, and Dredge is a type of deck, by the way, meaning to those who don't understand it, but it's actually complicated, but uses the graveyard a lot. I mean, just as a small explanation. But I hope you guys can, in Dredge, and also other infect players, we need to find a way to cope, or at least find another way to get around this problem. But yeah, the majority of this deck is not banned, by the way. It's just the Gitaxian probes are the only thing in this that are banned. And there's a reason why, like, and I actually do get your methods, wizards, by the way. And I'm not trying to hate on you, just I'm saying, and like, sometimes this should be unbanned if like, say, Control gets crazy in this coming Modern season. I would suggest at least bringing something back that can even the odds for aggro. And that's just my opinion. And sorry about dirty nails, it's just haven't cleaned them yet. Anyway, sorry. Well, that's basically it about this deck. I'm not saying that that's all the contents, but I'll at least give you the brief rundown on what is actually required of this deck, or what are some necessities that make this deck run. And plus, this is green-blue infect, if you couldn't tell. That this is green-blue infect, because I've got that, yep, green. So yeah. And there's no white, by the way. I could run white, because there are, and this is one thing that I think is very underrated, is there are white card, like there are like cards in the white color ratio from New Phyrexia that actually have infect. There's actually one of them. It may not be the best one, but it's actually not bad. It's the same cost it would be to pull off a Blighted Agent if I can find it really quick. But it's not too good, but it can definitely work as like a side option if you really needed to. And yes, that is Blossoming Defense, just as a heads up. And that is not a playset, by the way, but I have the fourth one somewhere in my library. Mutagenic Growth, pretty obvious. It's really needed in this deck if you want to actually play it. Got a playset of them. Just spell. And I'm not trying to make this like a deck tech, but some of these cards are actually pretty vital. But yeah, like Mutagenic Growth, like any sort of pump spells are good. Like say the Distortion Strikes make everything unblockable, which is always nice. And these Apostle's Blessing, which is basically the second most costly card in this deck. But anyway, it gives, if you can't read it, it basically says target artifact or creature you control gains protection from artifacts or from the color of my choice until end of turn. So, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a playset. Pair of Rancor. Now here's the Blighted Agents. And I've been trying to look for these guys. Oh, whoops. Whoops daisies. Okay. Blighted Agent. It deals infect damage, which could either be to a creature in -1/-1 counters, or it could be poison counters to a player. And it's unblockable, so you don't have to worry much with these guys getting -1/-1 counters on target creature, unless you're blocking. More pump, and that's basically it. So, well, even though this was pretty much a brief rundown of the deck, I would surely suggest Wizards at least have something. If you're going to like unban something or make a new version of something, I would suggest make a different version of the Gitaxian Probe, or even reprint it, who knows, and then immediately unban it. But I wouldn't suggest it for standard. Just like, I'm just thinking like for the future reference, if control ever goes out of whack, just try and bring some turn 3 kill decks back online. That's just my suggestion. Anyway, see you guys later, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.